tackles, to be honest with you. That's something, listen, that's something that is not new to the Dutch in that respect, but results will determine what happens. If the results are good, Danny Blind will survive. If not, it's quite simple. He will be gone. He knows that. Well, he's been left on an island, isn't he, after a very strange couple of week haul, and it's not the first time he's mentioned we've said that, but former teammate, manager, teammate, coach, yeah. Great player, wonderful player, wonderful footballer. Just didn't quite have the, I don't know if he'd admit it or not, but just didn't have the personality to deal with, 25, 30-man squads where you had to man us, but that's not easy. Dutch had a reasonable start here in terms of possession. Sweden happy to just sit off and allow the Dutch back four easy possession of the ball.
And there's Jan Andersson, 53 years old, taking over from Erik Hamren after the Euros.
See the Claudio Ranieri of Swedish?
Well, apparently so, because he won a Swedish title with Norrköping back in 2015, a tiny team who had no history of winning league titles. They have been described as the Leicester City of Sweden. And Andersson rewarded with the main job. Danny Blind, of course, a much more familiar name after his storied playing career. Of course, his son is very much a part of this Dutch team. On the ball now, wearing number 5 daily. Wesley Sneijder, winning cap number 123 today. Sneijder has been around the Dutch team since back in 2003. Jan combining with Klaassen out on the far side. The Dutch got off to a bright start in Eindhoven last week. Lost the first 30 minutes or so against Greece, took the lead through Jorginho Wijnaldum, but then it all went astray.
Clearly, Strickland's going to sit in front and just try and pick up possessions, play the ball around, and Wijnaldum will look to work off him, and Davy Klaassen will look to work off him from a more central position as well.
There's Quincy Promes. Exciting young right-sided player, Promes, who plays his club football in Russia, Spartak Moscow.
He'll probably play just right side of the three, maybe a little narrow, and Wesley Sneijder on the left. That'll allow Klaassen to play a little more centrally, as you can see him now, just fair hair, maybe a screen.
Virgil van Dijk getting the ball back to goalkeeper Gerard. So it's a surprise selection today. Craig Zoet winning just his 6th cap. And Jasper Sillerson is in this squad, so too Martin Stecklenburg. Two much more experienced keepers.
Not many people get a move to Barcelona and then get dropped for the national team.
And Sillerson was the starter for all the Euro 2016 qualifying campaign. The Dutch looking to get off to a better start than they did on the road to France. They lost their first game against the Czech Republic in the Czech Republic and really never recovered.
No, and I think that's the key. That, from my experience, that's the key, because along the line you're going to have some slip-ups, but you really don't want to have them at the start, because you find yourself chasing your tail and having to force the issue in games, maybe away from home even, and that's when against the better teams you leave yourself open.
Good intervention by Davy Klaassen. Here's Promes. Wijnaldum along the line, and there's a chance here for the Dutch. Great save from Robin Olsen, bailing out Sweden.
Yeah, great little ball in. I think it was Strickland. I initially thought that Promes was offside. He may have been, but class it wasn't in the modern day. That looked like the right call. So he just delayed his run in. I'm going to say it was you can look at it either way, great save or poor miss, but it certainly was a great chance for Ajax's David Klaassen there, who has been in the goals for Ajax. He certainly was last season, so he's not slouch in front of goal.
Davy scored 13 times in the Dutch Eredivisie, but a big moment for that man, Robin Olsen, taking over, as I mentioned, from Andreas Isaksson in goal for Sweden.
Yes, I thought Promos was offside, but flag doesn't go up because he doesn't really make a valid attempt to go for the ball. And he's just digging that out his feet a bit there, David Klaassen, got stuck under his body. And that was a really good, adaptable goalkeeping from Olsen, who just stumped that leg out. Fantastic save.
Isaksson had been the number one since 2004. Half-hearted appeals for decision in favour of the home team.
Berg claiming that Van Dijk pulled the shot. Italian referee having none of it. It's always difficult to tell these days with modern players, isn't it? Simulation, diving, call it what you want. Could be a referee.
Yeah, the referee's job has just, if anything, got harder and harder, isn't it? It's 5 or 10 years. It's Lustig, the right back who plays in Scotland with Celtic, trying to take the throw.
Yeah, a solid footballer, naturally right back, has played a centre back for Celtic or a back three, so very flexible defensive player.
Still no decision forthcoming for Sweden. John Guidetti this time taking a spill.
Well, he tried to brush off Daley Blind and he came out lost. Really. I mean, give me a break, will you? Give me a break. He's leaned on him and he's gone, that's a dive. Van Dijk leans on him, doesn't tuck the shot in my opinion, and Berg throws himself over. Typical modern day player joke. Don't like it, hate it mate, I hate it. Sorry if I make no apologies for going on about it, but you know, I just some will say it's okay, it's part of the game, but I'm not off.
I tell you that both of Sweden's starting strikers, John Guidetti and Marcus Berg, were doubts for this game because their partners were expecting that Marcus Berg was still in Athens on Saturday night for the birth of his son, arrived back here in Sweden late on Sunday. Zoe to be careful with his clearance there. Snyder over the top. Picked up here by Vincent Janssen, who drives on. Janssen with the comeback, and Snyder wasn't really able to steer it on target. There's Daley Blind. Good spell this unfolding for the Dutch, but an offside flag against Janssen, who was the big money move to Spurs. $23 million Tottenham paid for him after his scoring exploits with AZ Alkmaar. Offside there.
Yeah, when you think about it, somebody who scored 27 league goals domestically last year for AZ Alkmaar, then 27, did you say $23 million?
$23 million, yeah.
You know, in the modern game, it's not a whole lot for, you know, somebody who could potentially be a very good striker.
Janssen already has 3 international goals scored on his debut against England last March.
He's certainly got the physicality for the Premier League, Vincent Janssen. We just have to find out if he can handle the mental side, and he's got the qualities. Better players than him have pitched up, and it's just not worked for them. We think recently at Tottenham, for instance, Soldado pitches up, a regular scorer in La Liga, and couldn't hit a Ballon d'Or in the Premier League. What happens?
Oscar Wendt winding up for the long throw. Met definitively by Bruma. And Will be a Swedish free kick this time. Third time lucky for them. Janssen was the culprit. So Lustig was brought down. Super slow-mo always makes it slightly worse than it actually was. Certainly a loose and languid challenge there from Janssen. The striker, they just sort of hung that left leg out there, and Lustig took the tumble. Craig, a statistic that's been doing the rounds in the Swedish media is the Dutch proclivity for conceding from set pieces. 40% of the goals they've shipped in the last 2 years have been from set pieces.
I'm presuming that was more crosses into the boxes.
You would think so. This is certainly in shooting range, you would think, for John Guidetti.
100%. This is a perfect angle of distance. Keeper central.
With the Friends Arena. Sweden looking for the breakthrough. Right-footed effort right into the wall from Guidetti. Disappointed in the end. Guidetti charges down the rebound though. Word from Forsberg. Then the cross comes to nothing. So does the Swedish attack.
A really strong wall there from the Dutch. Nobody shirking their responsibility, because I can tell you it's not easy standing there knowing that you may be about to be getting clattered.
Life after Zlatan Ibrahimovic beginning today for Sweden, their first game. It's their final effort in France. 1-0 defeat to Belgium. Ended their interest in the Euros. Remarkably, as we mentioned pre-game, they only scored 1 goal in France, and that was an own goal, courtesy of Kieran Clark against Ireland.
If you're interested in stuff like this, Sweden played normally kind of 4-4-2 here, but when the goalkeeper's got the ball there from the goal kick, Marcus Rode on the right side of play pushes up into 4-3-3, so he pushes wide on the right, and it's really to stop the Dutch throwing the ball out of the back, and it's making that Zoe kick the ball. So as soon as he kicks it out, he dashes back in, and they get the shape back in again. So a little switch in tactics. The Dutch have got a goal kick. Now back into the 4-4-2 formation with the 2 lads up front. So just little things like that coaches tinker with during games to try and make the opposing side do something a little different.
It's a bit of a different approach from Jan Anderson. He's had this squad together for a week without another game, and they had 6 or 7 full training days.
Yeah, I'm not a great believer in these friendlies, you know. From a player's perspective, it's a nightmare. Nobody wants to play in them apart from the youngsters coming through.
Well, the experience of the Dutch is going out to defeat, and it just ratchets up the pressure, doesn't it? As Wijnaldum tries to increase the pressure on the Swedish defence, the chip back, Klassen is open! Well, Davy Klassen with a second big opportunity early on.
First of all, it was great play from Strootman centrally in midfield, and as you'd expect, you've got your overlapping fullback, Janmaat, who just dinks the ball up. The only thing that I would say in Klassen's favour here, there isn't any pace at all at the cross end. He just stands up, Janmaat, sort of floated to the back post. It was a good cross, but it's a cross that if you want to get power on it, you've got to be coming at it from a deeper position. Klassen, Adrian was coming at it from a standing position, so although it was a free header, it was really difficult to generate any power. But that's 2 decent chances.
Yeah, absolutely. In so many ways typifies the new look of this Dutch national team. Davy Klassen at the age of 23, winning just his 7th cap.
A good line there from the Dutch, just discipline, holding the line.
Sweden have seen Zlatan Ibrahimovic score nearly 74% of their goals he scored or assisted on over the last 4 years in competitive games. on this Swedish squad grew up with Zlatan as their idol. They have to move on definitively now. They do have the, you would think, the bedrock of a new look team. Members of the squad on the under-21 version of the Euros just last year in 2015. Md.Robeul on the right hand side, back to Lustig.
However, he took some more of an idea, so
Oscar Wendt, the left back, who
layer the layer
was
doing
Bundesliga.
that.
Borussia Mönchengladbach has been for
No, it does say.
several years. Didn't go to the Euros.
Same to us, that's fine.
Surprising, yeah.
একটা
Big
6
surprise.
6K viewers একটা ওটার ইয়েছে
Back in favour though under Jan Anderson.
10 সেন্ট দিছে
Now Breakfast will make his way forward with a long throw. The flick on arriving. Follow-up shot charged down. Md.Robeul with it. Berg under duress from Daryl Janmaat. Janmaat winning that particular duel. Just recently moved from Newcastle to Watford. Stay in the English Premier League. Invest alongside it. Just taken a position with FIFA development and reform. It's the area he's going to be involved in with FIFA. Interestingly.
That's good. And in layman's terms,
good
luck.
luck.
But he said he will stay on until November.
It's another chance for a Swedish shot, and so it didn't look too comfortable in the end to turn it aside. Forsberg from distance.
Forsberg does brilliantly. It's a loose header from Brummer. Second ball's not picked up by the Dutch, who are on their heels, and Forsberg's on his toes, gets that touch out of his feet, absolutely right to take the strike on. You can see it's a great strike, and the keeper there, although he palms it away and doing the right thing, doesn't look the most comfortable, does he, in terms of handling that as it sort of squirmed off his hands. But the Swedes here just gaining a little bit of confidence now, Adrian.
What can they do with this corner? They keep it low. Attempt to pick up the follow-up, but fell short, and now the counter-attack could be on. It's Klaassen who's heaved that long. Schneider unable to win the race.
You mentioned set pieces, and the Dutch don't look comfortable, do they? Whether it's a long throw, or a corner kick, or a free kick. Just watching Van Dijk there, they were man-for-man marking, there was no zonal marking, he slipped, and his man completely got away from him, so there's something obviously the Swedes as well have done their homework on. As soon as they get an opportunity to get it into the box with a bit of quality, I think they're going to try and do that all night.
I'll give you score updates as well from other games happening around European World Cup qualifying, and Belgium have their first goal under new manager Roberto Martinez. Lukaku has scored it. Sweden are on the prowl again here. Ruma is safe. Is this a handball? It's Van Dijk.
The arm certainly come out. I think he attempted to play the ball there. I don't know how much of it he got.
Again, there was a shoot on sight policy from distance for the Swedes, trying to test the mettle of Jerome Zoet.
Looked a bit nervy earlier on, Sweden, playing at home a little bit. An inexperienced national team, lots of changes. In front of your home crowd, first game of qualification. Understandable for some players, but look as if they're just now finding their feet in the game. The Dutch have still had the two best chances so far in 20 minutes with Davy Klaassen.
Klaassen again involved in the build-up. This time scramble clear. Franson couldn't hold it in. 20 minutes gone in Solna. Sweden looking to get back to a World Cup for the first time since 2006. It's the last two editions. Of course, the Dutch have been major players in the last two World Cups. Third place finish. Brazil, 2014, they were runners-up 4 years prior to that in South Africa.
But I tell you what, when you've got a front pairing like Sweden had for a period of Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Henrik Larsson, you know, you can be kind of average behind, relatively solid defensively, because those pair are going to tear defences apart, and they did.
Lindelof, who's by many accounts the most promising Swedish defender of the last decade. 22-year-old committing the foul though.
Can't question Wesley Sneijder's commitment to the national team, can you? Through thick or thin. He's always there or thereabouts, turns up, takes the criticism, moves on.
Sneijder has constructed a move of promise. Quincy Promes have to settle for the corner in front of the travelling Dutch brigade. Follow them so vociferously around the world, the Orange Army.
I'm sure he's not happy with the criticism sometimes, Sneijder, but 100 odd caps is telling me that you come back for more.
Robin Olsen palming it half away. Strootman rekindling the attack for the Dutch. And Strootman, who's a couple of injury-racked seasons with Roma, just now really getting back into the groove. Glint playing at left back tonight for his father.
Yeah, it's been good for Man U and for Mourinho at centre back with Bailly so far this season.
Good hold-up play from Janssen and the layoff.
Touch has got to be better than now.
Was on the score sheet in Eindhoven. Had scored in 3 consecutive appearances for the Dutch. Janmaat on the overlap. Cross routinely down with Gudetti trying to chart a course forward. Involved plowing right through Wijnaldum apparently. Sneijder. Klaassen has found some space to work with. And a positive build-up for the Dutch. Oh, and was that shot on target? If it was Klaassen who kept it out. And then preventing the counter-attack was Kevin Strootman who came across. Now in the first player booked as this encounter.
I don't know why he's complaining. He's got no complaints, I think, on first view. That certainly wasn't target, that strike there from Janssen. It was great play from the Dutch. He's tucking in there, he's wanting to play around. I like the way Janssen backs into the defender here, just to use his strength to lay it off, and then the ball in from Blind is excellent. Grandquist is defending the captain, it comes off. Great play from Holland there, but again, all started by Janssen.
Certainly much to be encouraged by for Danny Glint so far. They haven't got the breakthrough that perhaps the build-up play is deserved.
Well, actually, I don't think the Dutch have this service there. It started by Sneijder. It was a great little ball from Sneijder into the pocket where Davy Klaassen's been playing, and then he spun it back into Janssen. Typical striker. It's old-fashioned striking play. Back into the centre half. Use your strength. Lay it out wide to the oncoming fullback. Get your backside in the box. Hey, you don't need a coaching manual for that, do you? Get on the end of it, son. Yeah. And he did. He was rather unlucky.
Well, that's clever work from Wesley Sneijder. Wijnaldum on the move. Promes onto Janmaat. Great joy down both flanks, aren't they, the Dutch at the moment?
Yeah, Yeah, because the Sweden midfield are just playing a little narrow to try and thwart the threat of Wijnaldum and Klaassen in there. It's just allowing the Dutch a little bit more space in the wider positions. When you leave two up front like Sweden are doing,
Janssen again using his frame to his advantage. Great work again from Vincent Janssen. The Dutch sinking their teeth in here, continuing to apply the pressure. Promes, Janssen again making his move.
good defending. Yeah, Lustig. Sorry, I was a bit of the coffin bouts there. When you leave two up front like Sweden do, it gives your midfield four a decision to make. Do I stay wide, allowing the likes of Klaassen to get in behind my midfield two, or do I play narrow to try and help out, leaving a bit more space out wide? Decisions.
Schneider goes for goal this time, and why not? Took a little deflection en route. On the Dutch corner, Wesley Schneider, who's scored 6 goals at World Cups. It's tied for the second most in Dutch history.
Klaassen's getting a lot of the ball at the moment, finding a fair bit of space. I thought this was looping in, so did the goalkeeper. Go back to that strike from straight at Olsen, but he's going to deal with it. So much pace, a bit of square on the ball.
It's the corner. Again, a thorough examination of those Swedish centre-backs, Grangqvist and Nielsen, Lindelof. Back in again from Strootman. Swedish defence full stretch at the moment, trying to repel the Dutch advantage. Schneider riddling free. Nobody anticipated the cross beyond the far post. Well, we have a moment. MLS Soccer Sundays returning on ESPN Sunday at 1 o'clock. We'll be with you from Red Bull Arena. The derby, the Red Bulls and DC United, with a real Eastern Conference implications. 1 o'clock Eastern, Sunday on ESPN.
It's a home game for you, that, isn't it?
It is. Just down,
just down the road.
Just up I-95. That's how we like it.
Your air miles is going to take a bashing this weekend if you're not going to California or beyond.
United Airlines will have to figure out how to do without us for a weekend. They may just survive. Glad you can be with us here. Adrian Healy, Craig Burley. 0-0 as Group A European World Cup qualifying for Russia gets underway. A group with the name of France dominates. France goalless at the moment against Belarus. Bulgaria have scored in this group. They lead at Luxembourg by 1-0.
Unsurprising.
Group B, I can tell you the Swiss are 1-0 up early on against the European champions, Portugal.
Yeah, they're still in party mode. Portuguese, they had a great summer. Well, in the end.
Well, it's interesting to make that comparison, isn't it? Euros to World Cup, you think about it, 24 teams part of France this past summer. Only 13 from Europe are going to make the World Cup in Russia. Much, much harder.
It's going to be tough. Group winners. And then a bun fight for playoffs.
Only the 9 group winners guaranteed, and the 8 best runners-up go into those do-or-die playoffs, producing 4 more actual finalists. Now then, Klaassen and Promes working as a duo again. Promes, though, repelled the intentions of Franson, but in a blink of an eye, the Dutch have it back. Had a lurking, eventually finds its way to him.
Well, that was a foul on Lustig there, not given by the Italian official.
Schneider. A Dutch team that appear, when you look at just the results on the surface, to be down in the doldrums, but it's a bit of a different story if you dig a little deeper. results just prior to the Euros in friendlies are pretty good, Craig. They beat Austria and Poland, they beat England at Wembley. Having already, of course, failed to qualify for the Euros when the pressure was off, they started to put some results together. In fact, it's at home where they've had their struggles. They've actually lost 5 consecutive home games in the Netherlands, away from home, 5 games unbeaten. Md.Robeul, the new arrivals in this Swedish squad, winning just his 7th cap, winning the corner.
I was watching Struttman there tracking the runner. He just can't make a challenge. He's got that silly yellow card. As a defensive midfielder, he's really going to have to play with the players now for the rest of this game. Can't afford to dive in. See how the Dutch defend this one. Man for man, zone marking here.
আনারকলির কথা বলছিলাম আনারকলি
Left-footed delivery to the far post, and so it was scrambling. He hadn't got his fingertips to it just enough.
He was out wafting around there. The goalkeeper unconvincing, Adrian.
Yeah, you never want to use the word wafting in goalkeeping.
No, he was out
the same sentence.
It was a great ball in, I have to say. He lost the flight of the goalkeeper. He loses the flight of the ball here. And then, in fairness to him, it is a great fingertip, but it has to be, as a player, you take note when you're playing, that sort of things happen.
It's the PSV Eindhoven starting goalkeeper, Zoet. He played in 1 qualifier, Euros. It was a home defeat to the Czech Republic.
Now that I've seen that, I would be sticking it under the crossbar with pace, in swinging every time I could, and I would be trying to pile 3 or 4 bodies in there, 3 or 4 Swedish players, just to try and take his eye off the ball, play a little mind games with him, to find weakness in an opposing team as a player.
It is Watford debut against Arsenal, last game for the international break.
An opposing team as a player.
It is Watford debut against Arsenal, last game for the international break.
I can't repeat it on TV, obviously, but if you know the teams I played in, if we were playing a game like that and the keeper was struggling from crosses like that, the verbals every time we got in the box would be full on. Tell him what he can't do this, and he can't, make sure he can hear it and understand it, just try and get in his head. Mind games, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it goes on for those that think it doesn't.
Big part of the game, isn't it?
Yep.
Vincent Janssen is left in a crumpled heap by that challenge. The referee liking something that was said there. I think he's actually booked Davy Klaassen.
No, I think he's booked Lustig.
Was it Lustig?
Yeah, I might be wrong, but it could have been for an earlier challenge on Sneijder, which looked pretty late, and he waved play on. A hell of a long, a fair time ago.
Well, it was a little nasty, wasn't it, from Grand Rankist?
Yeah, he just cynically stands on Vincent Janssen there. Probably heard the groans of the big striker as he got the studs on the ankle.
So now, Wesley Sneijder on the scene. Quincy Promise. Maybe he'll have a say too. Manager Sneijder will dictate the terms here. It's 4 to aim for inside the penalty area. Sneijder curling it, but catching practice in the end for Robin Olsen.
Yeah, applauded by the home support, who are encouraged by his handling of the ball here. Actually, you know, the height of the ball in wasn't too bad. It was just too close to the goalkeeper. He was 3 or 4 yards too close in his delivery. He's trying to get that between the penalty spot and the 6-yard line. giving the likes of Van Dijk an opportunity to go and attack it. It's unusual for Snyder. His delivery is usually on the money.
10 minutes remain in this first half in Friends Arena.
Does that surprise you that I would have liked verbal during the game? I loved it. I loved it.
I'm sure it was one of the,
I loved
one of the areas of the game in which you excel.
Oh, and the tunnel beforehand and the warm-ups. You know, it's great, and you can.
Could you see it work though? Could you see it
I
wind
don't
players
know.
up?
Oh, yeah, you could easily wind players up. Listen, some players used to wind me up as well, and it can. As we've seen a little trip on Van Dijk there. Anderson doesn't think there was any intent. It was definitely a clip. And I've been in a position where my mind's going off a game when I'm thinking I'm going to get this guy's. I can't wait till the ball comes into him. I'm going to clatter him. And you start thinking more about that side of it than you do about the game. And it's part and parcel. I really enjoyed it. It's great. Oh, and you can have a beer after generally, and sort of 90% of the time, and have a laugh and a joke about it. Sometimes.
Other times the heat of the battle.
Yeah, sometimes you do have players where you just can't stand them. That will never change. Rivalry.
The history of the Dutch national team, you wonder if some of that is within their own squad as well. There's been so much infighting when it comes to the Dutch.
Yeah, it's been a problem on and off for them.
Swedish fans here talked about the Dutch travelling support for Sweden. They've always been a nation who've taken great support from every major tournament they've been involved in. Seeing all the yellow shirts in Poland and Ukraine 4 years ago. This is Promise, back to Janne, Promise again, and Jan Sander. Did it take a touch on its way through? It appears not. Well, maybe referee's decided it is a corner.
Yeah, I think it did. I like Jansen's hold-up play. I like the way he backs into defenders. I like he's prepared to use his strength. Just come off the arm of. I think that came off the arm of Wijnaldum last, didn't it?
Corner nonetheless, though, guided in towards the far post. Safely negotiated by the Swedish defence. Robin Olsen, who Danish parents could have played for Denmark or Sweden. This is club football at Denmark with Copenhagen. New look Sweden. Much younger team after a high-profile retirement after the Euros, not just Zlatan Ibrahimovic, the goalkeeper Andreas Isaksson. Kim Källström has gone to Pontius Wernbloom. And Erik Johansson, who decided to retire at the age of 27 from international football.
I'm sure he had his reasons. It seems, well, as very young.
It's a growing trend, though, isn't it? Certainly as players get up towards 30. Bringing up their boots into
Yeah, I was down to 2:33 when I was absolutely gone. My lad, so many injuries again.
It's a free kick for the Swedes from Oscar Wendt. Again, some appeals for handball. If nothing else, they've got a corner out of it.
As if the last touch may have come off Lustig there. I think that was the complaint.
There it is, up for grabs. Breakfast. Steer it on target. No problem for Zoet.
No, I think if you retire from international football at 27, there's got to be either outlying reasons in football, or you just are not interested because you're at the peak of your career at that point, really between 25 and 30.
Of the 24 players selected for this game, right, 10 of them weren't at the Euros. It's almost half the entirely new squad for Sweden. The players that haven't retired, no Martin Olsen here and Sebastian Larsson, also absent, two players who ply their trade in the English Premier League. not picked by Jan Anderson. It's actually the fewest caps in any Swedish squad has been picked since 2002.
I think clearly sending a message, to the Swedish footballing public that, you know, he's going to freshen things up.
Certainly look good value for money this first half. Will be a cross for him to get on the end of here. Promise and Jan combining, trying to provide one. Promise indeed delivers. It's come all the way through to Schneider, unmarked. His delivery was low, his second one even lower. They were both repelled. Third time of asking for Schneider. Jensen in retrieval mode. The Dutch have had an awful lot of this sort of possession, haven't they, as I say that. Careless from Bruma, giving it away. Berg forced to react and tripped by Gudeta. Well, we have the UEFA Champions League back on our ESPN screens. Craig, you'll be delighted to learn. Begin next Tuesday, 2:30 Eastern. Will be with Bayern Munich. They take on Rostov in the group stage. It's on ESPN 2. Tuesday, 2:30 Eastern.
I'm very happy Bayern Munich come. If you listen to recent reports under new head coach Carlo Ancelotti, who has a different style to the previous coach,
the players' coach. They seem to be appreciating the contrast between Ancelotti and Guardiola after a good start. Little Man City, Gudeta, the former Man City man, left that. It was a clever dummy, and they've won it back here. And is that the breakthrough? It is! The Dutch caught cold. Marcus Berg with the delightful chip, and how sweet it is for Sweden and for Jan Anderson.
An absolute peach from Marcus Berg here. Big striker, puts himself about with a touch here. Like, if it was Lionel Messi, we said goal of the season. You know, what a goal. Certainly goal of the match day one of the qualifiers. I think they'll feel just reward here because the referee was having none of it. It looks as if it hit Bruma on the arm, and that's a beauty. That's an absolute beauty from Berg, who nutmegs Strootman, and then bang, 60-degree long wedge, pitch perfect, keeper absolutely no chance. Strootman gets caught out, pick that one out. It doesn't come any better than that.
Such a delicate touch from the man who became a father on Saturday nights in Athens. Here, 3 nights later in Stockholm, gives Sweden the lead. Somewhat against the run of play, you'd have to say, Craig. But
yeah, well, I think Danny Blind will be thinking that's just the way it's going for me now. We've had 3 great chances. We've had the ball could play. We look a threat. We're 1-0 down.
Promise. Reply immediately for the Dutch.
But that was a goal, wasn't it? Did you expect it? I mean, I thought when he wins that back there that he's going to put the laces through it, Adrian. I wasn't expecting him to produce a piece of brilliance like that.
It's Berg's 11th goal for his country. And he's been pretty prolific in Greece over the last 3 years, playing for Panathinaikos.
Ibrahimovic, you what? Who's that? You'd have been proud of that.
Yes, he would.
Now, half-time approaches. The knives have been sharpened again for Danny Blind up in the press box. Long time to go, but, you know, the pressure is on.
And again, you have to say they've played plenty of progressive football in this first half, haven't they, the Dutch? Had their chances, Klaassen. 2 two gilt-edged opportunities in the first 15 minutes.
EWNU.
Vincent Janssen has looked lively. So too Wijnaldum, he's on the scene here. Looks like
This.
promise.
NN.
Struman it was who coughed up the ball. That dangerous territory.
Dead, yes.
Trying to make amends, bursting through. Robin Olsen out to meet. You can see the corner. It appears he did. It'll be the last moment of the first half. It's actually Yanna who won it.
You know why players have to look at the big screen every time? You know you're on camera. I think the goalkeeper's got to be brave with it.
Schneider's corner. Still up for grabs. Olsen. The punch clear. It's Van Dijk who had the initial chance in mid-air. That is the final moment of the first half. Craig, Sweden up against it for much of the first 45 minutes, but then Marcus Berg with quite some breakthrough.
Yeah, Dutch looking relatively comfortable. Played some good stuff going forward, impressed by Janssen, impressed by Klaassen, who's had a couple of chances. But that was an absolute peach from Marcus Berg to give the Swedes the lead at half-time.
Danny Blind with a vital half-time team talk. And coming up, we will take a rest and lead the talking to the crew from ESPN FC, led by Dan Thomas. They're on the other side of the break.
Why are you checking your credit score? You don't want to live with mom and dad forever, do you?
Well, I'm not checking.
So, how can I check my credit score? Credit Karma. Don't worry, it's free.
Credit Karma. Give yourself some credit.
Yeah, we can win, so I'm saying start me. Let's do this. Stop all plays, just using my body. When I'm on your back, change your roster up and just start me. Opponents never gonna make first downs. Try and won't gain no ground.
Build your team and take them all the way. Madden NFL 17. Rated E for everyone.
Xbox One S, starting at $299.
Dollar Shave Club. Best club I've ever joined. Quality products.
Dollar Shave Club is the best thing that's happened to me.
Oh, I'm not a security guard. I'm a security monitor. I only notify people if there's a robbery. There's a robbery.
Why monitor a problem if you don't fix it? That's why free credit monitoring isn't enough to protect you from identity theft. At LifeLock, we not only alert you to identity threats, if you have a problem, we'll spend up to $1 million on lawyers and experts who work to fix it. LifeLock. Join starting at $9.99 a month.
You do know the experts at Midas will tell you when he's fixing how and when he can wait, right? Like, I don't know, brakes? Of course I do.
One of the best things about driving is being able to stop. Now through September 30th, get up to $100 back by mail on a 2-axle brake service. Brakes, tires, oil, everything.
The most exciting, game-defining yards in football. It's NFL Red Zone from NFL Network. Magnificent! Get every touchdown from every game, every Sunday afternoon. And football doesn't stop on NFL Network. It goes all week.
We're gonna run it like crazy.
Get NFL Red Zone from NFL Network today.
Get NFL Red Zone, included in the multi-sport pack. Order today.
Welcome into the ESPN FC studio. We'll be heading back to the second half of Sweden against the Netherlands in a moment. But for now, I'm joined by Ali Moreno, former Trinidad and Tobago international champion Hislop, former US international Brian McBride. Why is that relevant? Those two teams going head-to-head tonight in the final game of the group stages of CONCACAF qualified, of course, for the place at the Hex stage. Trinidad and Tobago are fine. They've qualified. The US have all but qualified. A win or a draw will see them through to the Hex. However, if the US lose against Trinidad and Tobago, which the SPI only gives it a 10% chance of happening, and Guatemala beat El Salvador by St. Vincent and the Grenadines by, was it 12-0? 11-0? Then the US will not qualify for the Hex. Brian, are you nervous?
No, I'm not nervous. I'm looking forward to this. I think this is going to be a good chance for the United States to continue to really shine. They're growing through their youth that made an impact, but also the way they came out of the Copa with a lot of questions answered. This is a good chance for them to continue on home soil.
Given that Trinidad have already qualified, Shaq, what sort of performance are you expecting from them tonight?
Well, first of all, I hope it's less nervy than the one we saw on Friday night against Guatemala. Saying that, Coach Stephen Hart has already said that he's going to be making some changes to the squad. So whether that makes this team stronger or better prepared up against the US, I'm not quite certain. He does need to give more of his squad playing time, which he will do. And in all honesty, away to the US is not a game that Trent-Tobago ever expects to win. It's been 40 years since we last won it. US soil.
That's a while.
That's a long time.
Were you involved in? That's also a while back.
So, saying that, to your point, Dan, we here give players some valuable time, hopefully settle some of the nerves that we saw on Friday night, and look forward to start preparing for the Hex. It's the most important takeaway for us.
There were no nerves were there on Friday night with the US beating the Grenadines comfortably. The big story out of that was Christian Pulisic coming off the bench, impressive, getting the 2 goals. Where do you stand on this debate about whether or not he should start tonight's game?
I don't look at it as a debate based on age. I look at it on evaluating the player. If he's ready and he's mature enough to be on the field, I don't care whether he's 17 years old or not. If I feel that this guy is going to help me win games, if I'm Jurgen Klinsmann, I put him out on the field. However, I understand the approach that Jurgen Klinsmann and the U.S. men's national team is taking. Is that, all right, let's take it slow. Let's not give him too much too soon. Let's allow him to grow, to get comfortable, to mature as a player. If you're Christian Pulisic, at some point you want to start rather than comfortable.
Pulisic will be 18 this month. Coming up after the break, we'll be bringing you the highlights of the opening 45 minutes against Sweden against the Netherlands. No doubt the highlight was this strike from Berg.
Dollar Shave Club. Best club I've ever joined. Quality products.
Dollar Shave Club. It's the best thing that's happened to me.
There are countless, not very smart things we do with our cars. But with TireRack.com, at least you know you got your tires right. Right now, you can get a $70 MasterCard reward card when you buy a set of 4 select Michelin tires. For details, go to TireRack.com.
Want to go for a bike ride?
TireRack.com. Find, deliver, install. Smarter.
To me, it was exhausting. I was spending more time on my car than I was with my kids. Yeah, it was tough for all of us. So we used Zillow to look for a place closer to work. Sure, there were some trade-offs, but I feel like I got my family back. Whatever home means to you, we'll help you find it. Zillow.
Yep, it's termites.
Oh, get rid of them.
Oh, no, I'm not an exterminator. I'm a pest monitor. I only let you know when there's a problem. There's a problem. But
Why monitor a problem if you don't fix it? That's why free credit monitoring isn't enough to protect you from identity theft. At LifeLock, we not only alert you to identity threats. If you have a problem, we'll spend up to $1 million on lawyers and experts who work to fix it. LifeLock. Join starting at $9.99 a month.
Yeah, we can't win, so I'm saying start me. Let's do this. Stop our players just using my body. When I'm on your back, change your roster and just start me. Opponents never gonna make first downs. Try and won't gain no ground.
Build your team and take them all the way. Matt, NFL 17. Rated E for everyone.
Xbox One S, starting at $299.
Monday Night Football is back with a back-to-back.
Monday night, baby!
So take everything you love about Monday night and double it. Double the anticipation.
Ready to go, Kobe? Everybody's watching on Monday night.
Double the debut.
Hassan with the effort, goalkeeper does well. It's a beautiful ball in by Kevin Strootman, flicked over the top. Nice little first touch by Klaas. Then in one fluid motion takes a shot, but it's a great save by Olsen. The Dutch would certainly have the better of the opening exchanges of this game. 10 minutes later, another chance once again to Klaassen. Keeper denies him.
It's a good header for Klaassen. Actually having to come back onto this, doesn't get any power in the real direction, no problem for the keeper.
Wesley Schneider.
Attempt, see he took a deflection.
In Sweden, with an absolute stunner to break the deadlock. They're appealing for a handball here. However, Marcus Berg plays on, and boy does he play on. Yes, he does. A little bit of filthiness by Marcus Berg. And yes, Sweden is claiming for a handball. They're complaining, but they keep playing. Kevin Strootman, on the other hand, turns it over, and Marcus Berg decides, you know what? I'm just going to get nasty. I'm going to get filthy. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Okay, it's tasty, I'll tell you that much. Just tickles the underside of the bar as well. Sweden 1-0 up then at half-time. We'll be here at full-time to wrap up all of the action. Of course, a number of games going on, including France and Portugal playing. But after the break, we'll be heading back to Adrian and Craig, the second half of Sweden-Netherlands.
We can win, so I'm saying start me. Stop our players just using my body. When I'm on your back, change your roster and just start me. Opponents never gonna make first downs. Try and won't gain no ground.
Build your team and take them all the way. Matt, NFL 17. Rated E for everyone.
Xbox One S, starting at $299.
I moved to Boston when I was 2. There was 14 of us in a 4-bedroom apartment. In the projects in Boston. To be the first, actually, kid to buy a house in my family. I just realized that I'm the first kid to buy a house. It's very proud.
Whatever home means to you, we'll help you find it.
link পাঠাইছিলাম না অল লিংক তোমরা ডিলিট করে দিও স্টিং কি মানে বলাইছি না এটা শর্টটা আমি শিওর না স্টিং মানে বন্ধ স্টিং বন্ধ যত করে তো টাকা খারাপ হলো না যা বুঝাইছে আমার টাকা দরকার
There's live prices for more than 150 different websites.
Money.
Find the best price for your ideal hotel. Hotel? Trivago.
What money?
Why are you checking your credit score?
I want to see if it changed.
Credit scores don't change that much, do they?
Really?
I'll take it.
Sir, your credit
is great, right?
When was the last time you checked?
Yeah, better check my credit score.
Here, try credit karma. It's great.
Alright, no more surprises. Credit karma.
Give yourself some credit.
আইবো ওই যে ওই ছবিটা বিরক্ত আমারটা আসতে আমার তো কিছু যাইতেছে না আমি তো যাইতেছি
You got your auto insurance from the General too. I needed more coverage for my new car, and they saved me money. Did you know that General now has renter's insurance? I didn't know that.
System by
Let's take a break and talk about it.
Playground din ওই যে দেনা সাবস্ক্রাইব পাই চ্যানেল দেনা দেনা
Check out our renter's insurance. For a great low rate, you can get online. Go to the General and save some time.
No two allergy days feel the same. With Nasacort, even on your worst days, relief can be yours. Unlike antihistamines that target only one cause of your nasal allergy symptoms, Nasacort stops more for effective relief. Nasacort, guaranteed for your money back.
Becca doesn't know soda breaks down tooth enamel. Thankfully, she uses restoring mouthwash with fluoride. It restores minerals to enamel for 40% stronger teeth. Act, smile strong, and try new alcohol-free act restoring mint version for strong teeth and refreshing
Welcome back, everyone, to Solda and the Friends Arena. The Dutch in the doldrums and in trouble here, trailing by a goal to nil to Sweden as we open up a European World Cup qualifying in Group A. Adrian Healy and Craig Burley alongside me. Craig, a first half that was lit up by Marcus Berg's stylish finish, but spare a thought for the Dutch. They played some progressive football in that first half, just didn't get any reward for it.
Yeah, the final third, they played some good stuff. I mean, Janmaat was bombing down this right-hand side. It was the far side in the first half. He was up down there like a yo-yo, put some good deliveries in. David Klaassen, a couple of great chances, but Strictly gave the ball.
সাবস্ক্রাইবার বেশি তো এই কারণে তাছাড়া কিন্তু তোমার তো খুব একটা বেশি না সাবস্ক্রাইবার 3,500 উপরে তুলনায় কিছুই না 4,000 গেছে আগে কাজ করে দিয়েছে তাও 3 মাস 3.5 মাস বেশি হয়ে গেছে মানে শুরু করছে তখন থেকে তো দুজনে ট্রাই করছে কাজ করে আস্তে আস্তে আইসে লাগে লাইভ আসে নাই কেন লাইভ আসে নাই যেতে লাইভে ক্লিক করে চলতেছে তো লাইভ ছিল দেখা যাইছিল লাইভে এমন একটা ক্লিক দেওয়া যায় sound good. Yeah, it's not so bad. Reload the sound. Sound about it. Radio में तो कोनो जगह sound सुना करो. तो sound टा জানলা করতে sound শুনে দেখলাম. শুধু শব্দ করতেছে আর sound একটু কম আছে. রেডিওটা দিতে পারলে আর যদি ক্লিক করে ক্লিকের শব্দ যায়.
Feeling sleeping right now, the Dutch national team manager, the beleaguered team manager. Huge amount of pressure to get the right sort of result here. It's going wrong in the moment though. Lusty. Too much on the cross. For sure, Craig, with France in this group, in Group A, the Dutch got off to this qualifying campaign with a defeat yet again. Backs against the wall, up against it.
I mean, you don't want to be presumptuous, but I'm going to be. And you just got to look at the French squad and think it surely has to win this group barring a disaster. You would think when it's home games, pick up points on the road. I can't see another result in this group B. I really can't.
Danny Glint, see him there, one right of your screen. Claiming there's no pressure on him. He was very confident they were going to come here and get a victory.
Well, yeah, I get that. I understand that thought process, but the no pressure on him was just not true. He knows this. He knows what's at stake.
There's a man who showed plenty of encouraging flashes in the first half, Vincent Janssen.
Yeah, I liked him. He's talking to you at the front.
ব্রাজিলে খেলা তো দেখলাম না
go all the way, really.
Windows দিবে on এদিক নিয়ে ল্যাপটপ দে হ্যাঁ
Who was in and out of the Manchester City squad, really a chance to make his mark in that team. Now it's Celta Vigo in Spain. The Dutch Achilles heel of late. It's been set pieces, a free kick, very central, and hit from distance. Forsberg, the placement but not the power really to trouble Zoet.
I thought it was a decent effort though from that distance. Almost looked as if he went with the side foot there, Adrian, a technique we see every now and again, and got a decent amount of pace to it.
Forsberg, who's just started life in the German Bundesliga with newly promoted Red Bull Leipzig. In their promotion campaign last year. Janmaat side to Wijnaldum. Daley Blind's cross just flicked off the head of Grankvist all the way through to Janmaat. Swings it back in. Goalkeeper at full stretch. Blind recovering. Oh, and Schneider, it fell right on his left foot. Had to hit it instinctively on the volley.
Yeah, goalkeeper out. Unconvincing. Again there. It's similar to the Dutch goalkeeper in the first half, wafting a little bit at that.
Schneider, I mentioned the first half, 6 goals at World Cup finals to his name. Tied with Md.Robeul.
He's had some career, has he not? Corner country.
Maybe the great Johnny Rep has scored more World Cups for the Dutch. Lustig tidying up, winning the goal kick. Look at the squad that Danny Blind selected. This week, no Memphis Depay. That Depay feels fit but needs to concentrate on getting back in the Manchester United squad. And
no chance of that.
Yeah, he's up against it.
He's up against the clock there, I can tell you.
So no Klaas-Jan Huntelaar or Robin van Persie, two strikers wrong side of the age of 30 now, but both of them still in theory available.
Well, I think the emergency Janssen and David Klaassen in that position in behind.
It's clever from Forsberg. He's escaped the clutches of his man. Across. It's dealt with by Van Dijk.
Janmat again, who's beaten too easy down this right hand side for the second time since the second half has resumed.
Anna Andersson, who this time here in the Swedish League never lost in this stadium, the Friends Arena. 4 visits here. It's that tiny team I was telling you about the first half, Norrköping, who won the Swedish League title. It's recently, in fact, 2015. It's the home of the AIK. Yeah, Swedish First Division. Capacity, this Friends Arena. It's some way short of that tonight.
Which is a bit, I mean, I don't know. It's like, can't tell you why, but opening game, qualification, Adrian, at home. Amongst, as a player, I would take it for granted.
Into the second half here, courtesy of the delightful ship. The first half, the Dutch seeking a foot. Hold in the game. Asked plenty of questions of this Swedish defence. Janmat. He's overcooked that. Build up to the goal again, and Struckman will have nightmares about this.
Well, I mean, the little dummy from Guidietta was clever. It always came off. Then Struckman dwelled on the ball. Berg did brilliantly, won it back off him. Then it was an absolute peach. I'll mention it again. It was a beauty of a chip. We probably tried it another 10 times. It wouldn't come off, but he got it absolutely on the button.
Danny Blind to as a player. Part of that memorable Ajax team. All time between these two nations. Both of them have won 7 apiece and in 4 draws. First time ever in World Cup qualifying. clear these two have ever met. And last Euro qualifying, leading up to the 2012 tournament. Sweden won on that night by 3 goals to 2. They lead here by a goal to 0.
Holland need more from Ronaldo. We saw a lot of David Klassen in the first half, in the little pocket, trying to get in behind the back four. And we've got to see, the Dutch have got to see Jorginho Ronaldo making the type of run that he made a couple of minutes ago when Sneijder almost picked him out. He's going to have to pick those little holes that Vincent Janssen vacates when he makes a run. And it's all about getting the timing right. Well, goals from midfield for Newcastle last season in a struggling team that were relegated. Tells me, you know, he knows how to get it done. Danny Blind